Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, scholars and dignitaries, welcome to another episode. Welcome to my world.
Hello, friends. So I want to take just a couple of minutes to speak just with teenagers and young adults, so the rest of you can turn this off. And I want to start by asking this question. If you could project yourself 50 years into the future and have an opportunity to review your past life as you've lived it over the last 50 years, what would you see? And more importantly, what would you have liked to see? Did you live the life you wanted? Was your life a meaningful one to you, to your family? Did you really love them? Did they really love you? Did you take care of your family? Did you have close friends? More importantly, did you earn their respect? Did you have a good job? Did you make any contributions to society, or did you live a life of no accountability where society supported you? Did you enjoy a good quality of life? And here's the most important question. Did you serve your purpose on earth as you would have thought you should? When you are old and in the end stage of life, and believe me, it happens much faster than you can ever imagine, will you be able to review your life and say that no matter what, rich or poor, single or married, male or female, whether you worked on the farm, in the office, at the factory, or at home, that your life was full and meaningful? The answers you find may just shock you. They shock so many. This video is simply about enhancing your quality of life. For each phase of life you enter, the quality of your life should strengthen, not weaken. It should increase, not decrease. It should expand the positive features and attributes of your life, not shrink or contract them. You should have a very fulfilling life no matter your station in life. And the key is to choose the right path in life. Now, most of us think that we know how to do this, but the truth is that we don't. And for many of us, our life is in free float. It is moving ahead, but may not be making any progress. It may be just drifting, even drifting aimlessly. In fact, your life may be standing still or even be headed in the wrong direction. If you don't know the basic elements of a fulfilling life and strive for and maintain those specific dynamics that make your life healthy and happy, your life can be free-floating too, aimless, drifting, with neither rhyme nor reason, with neither purpose nor goals, set adrift and vulnerable to the whims of fate. So consider this a guide to life, like an instruction manual. To be honest, most of us do go through life without a guide, without a plan, and so we wander, sometimes riding the currents of life, and often we do find success, but as often, many find failure, and that's what we want to avoid. So, too, we should have a life path instructional manual to offer advice, support, and guidance along the journey of life. So, don't leave your life to fate. Wouldn't you rather choose your own destiny? I think most people would want a directed life based upon proven positive attributes, heartfelt values, sound decision making, and appropriate behavior, a life that has both purpose and direction. Now, there are no absolutes. I've known people that, for sake of argument, did everything the right way and yet still suffered many of the losses and negatives of life. And that's one of the mysteries of life. Life can be cold and hard, and there are no guarantees. But generally speaking, if you follow this proven path, your life turns out to be healthy, productive, and something you, your family, and your community can be proud of. So here is the guide. And again, these are only three factors. But please think about these three factors because, to be honest, most of the people I have personally known who have made a good life for themselves consistently practice these principles in their daily affairs, whereas others, unfortunately, paid little heed to just these three elements. They are jewels that will light your path in life. First, avoid anything that actually is self-destructive and self-defeating. Don't destroy the quality of your life, and in life development, this happens far more often than people suspect. Too often, people adopt attitudes and behaviors which are self-destructive and self-defeating, and I've seen people both consciously and subconsciously destroy their quality of life. And of course, people are quick to blame bad luck for their misfortunes. But when you examine the circumstances, you'll see that it was not bad luck at all. More often, the bad luck were behaviors that were not addressed in a positive or proactive manner, but more often, the bad circumstances were self-inflicted and brought upon people by themselves. I mean, who would go to a job interview and swear or curse during the interview? I've seen it. More often than not, people bring on their own bad luck themselves. For instance, every year there are over 5 million driving accidents. Invariably, the drivers will say, "It wasn't my fault, it was an accident." But fewer than 10% of the car crashes are truly accidents. Over 90% of these are due to human error. The driver was not paying attention, was too busy talking, listening to loud music, texting, was driving too fast, ran a red light, and so on. And of course, research shows that the three primary causes of morbidity, mortality, and family and social dysfunction is alcohol and drug abuse and gambling addiction. Stay away from these things. They can be toxic to your life on a scale that you can never imagine. Now, I've known a lot of people who are in constant crisis, crisis after crisis, only to successfully navigate out of one crisis to find themselves in yet another due to their own emotions, attitudes, and behavior. People develop patterns of self-destructiveness, even when it's not their intent, and even though they don't realize it, and all because of poor decisions and negative self-destructive behaviors. So don't do anything that is self-destructive. Second, be sure you are a risk-adverse person, someone who avoids putting themselves in harm's way. You know the type. When they were young, they were the ones who listened when their parents would say things like, "Look both ways before you cross," or "Do your homework first," or "Remember, don't play with fire." As adults, these people have formed an adult lifestyle, usually characterized by balance and careful, deliberate thought and action. They exercise more self-control, and they tend to be healthier and suffer far fewer crises and negative self-induced tragedies in life. And avoid being in the other group, commonly known as crisis-oriented. As children, these people tended to be more impulsive, acting on sporadic feelings rather than integrating it with thinking skills. Many tended to be sensation seekers, attracted to things which were more action-oriented, exciting, or even thrilling. Many were thoughtless, impetuous, rash, reckless, or even irresponsible. People act impulsively, often for the wrong reasons and usually for one of 5 reasons: because they are rebellious, they are seeking immediate gratification, because they are sensation seeking, because they are angry, or because they have lost sight of the values and virtues of God and family. And then they repeat these self-defeating, self-destructive behaviors. And instead of building a life of goodwill and good works, many build a bankrupt life where nothing works as it should, and which has harmful and ruinous consequences for themselves and even for society. Many other crisis-oriented people often demonstrated immediate gratification, wanting things and rewards immediately without earning them or working towards them. And many demonstrated patterns of anger or even outright rebelliousness, rejecting parental guidance or school authority through disobedience, defiance, power, and manipulation. And many procrastinate. And at first it's occasionally, but then it becomes a habit and then a pattern. As adults, these tendencies become repetitive patterns to act before you think, and can create serious problems: family, financial, employment, and social. These people as adults become crisis-oriented and go from relationship to relationship, from job to job, and too often from one jail to another. They tend to sabotage themselves and undermine their own success, and overall tend to have lives that are chaotic, unpredictable, and unhealthy, all the while deflecting and denying that it's their fault. Be risk adverse. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Don't play with dynamite. It might blow up. And third, always follow the traditional values and customs of your family. Don't lie, cheat, or steal. Respect your elders. In fact, respect everyone, whether or not you think they deserve it. Work hard. Be accountable. Go above and beyond the call of service, doing more than people expect you to. Remember, honesty, gratitude, persistence. Practice self-control. Control your emotions, especially the negative ones like anger or rage. Be thoughtful of others. Give to charities. Do random acts of kindness. Be a good neighbor. Live a principled life and a life of principles. And most importantly, return to the practice of your family's religion. Keep the faith going for this generation and keep God first and foremost in your family and in your life. Remember that we all grow and transform, and our past does not have to define us. We all make mistakes, and no one is perfect. The key is to learn from our mistakes, to reflect on them, to think them through, and to consciously use them to make better decisions in the future. It's a growth process, it's maturity, it's responsibility, it's change. I knew one teenager who made a few mistakes in his life, but he had a loving family and some close friends, and he decided to step up and accept responsibility. He didn't let his past define him. He knew he had a new chance, and he changed to be responsible to himself and accountable to others. In essence, the key to life is to accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. And this translates into health, growth, balance, and an overall higher quality of life. Every day, you have a second chance to make the rest of your life the best of your life, but only a conscious decision to change today reduces and even eliminates the constant crises and chaos you might be experiencing. Life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. Hey, be safe, be well, and may God bless.